Welcome back. If you're looking for something to do on a nice, sunny summer day like this one, how about taking a trip down the Kentucky Quilt Trail? Joining me now, Gwenda Atkins. Gwenda is the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent for Elliott County. Tell us about these trails. They're all over the state, right?
Yes, they span from eastern Kentucky border all the way to western Kentucky, decorating, like you said, the beautiful scenic back roads of Kentucky.
And there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of these quilt blocks on the barns. These barns, of course, are in themselves great objects to look at. Their architecture, their history, they're part of our heritage, and we're looking at some of those that are on the quilt trail. How do you guys go about getting these things, up on there, and how do you pick the designs and the barns? How does that happen?
It was very interesting. When we first started the quilt project, I thought it would be women who would want to do it because of their connection to quilting.
Right.
But that wasn't the way it was. It was the men who called wanting a quilt square on their barn in memory of their moms and their memory of their moms quilting. So we took applications. Most counties had an application process and a committee that actually reviewed the applications and decided the patterns and the colors and where to put them and spread them across Kentucky.
And the whole idea of this quilt trail is obviously to see these quilt blocks, but also, as you said, to get people off the interstates, kind of take a nice drive and see some things that you normally wouldn't see if you were headed, for example, from here to Ashland, just what up 64. You might see some, restaurants and stuff, but you wouldn't see what truly makes Kentucky a wonderful place to live in and to travel through.
The back roads are fun to drive, and on a beautiful day like this, and in the spring, and especially the fall when the color changes, it's a different world than the interstates. And the quilt squares have added a new dimension to those roadways. It's made them more scenic. It's been a part of barn preservation, a part of arts, a part of quilt preservation. Everybody who looks at the quilt trail looks at it with a different viewpoint. And it's interesting when those people come together and say, no, it's about this or it's about that. But all in all, it is a beautiful project that has tied Kentucky together from one end to the other.
If you want to look at the barns in her area, KentuckyQuiltTrail.org will give you some routes, some ideas where you could start, and the Kentucky Transportation Department or Cabinet has one as well. So, Gwenda, thank you for coming in, and if you're headed that way, hey, take a back road. And speaking of nice weather, Mary will have one more look at your forecast after the break.